Hi buyers, today I want to talk to you about working with for sale by owners. My name is Kristen Beverly with Cross Keys Realty and Southwest Florida School of Real Estate. And this is a little bit of a sensitive subject in my mind, at least, because I've worked with a ton of for sale by owners in the past. In the beginning of my real estate career, I used to talk to a lot of for sale by owners. Many of them became my customers. I sold their houses for them. And so I would never want to disrespect anyone who is attempting to sell their possession on their own. I don't think it's a great idea. I think there's lots and lots of reasons why it's a great idea, and I'm just going to touch on a couple with you today. But really what I want to get across to you is if you are a buyer and you're working with an agent and you find a home that's listed for sale by owner, please know that your agent can still work on your behalf. That agent can contact the for sale by owner. They can set up a contract with one another so that the agent is still going to earn their commission for working on your behalf. And there's several different ways that that can happen. So have that conversation with the agent that you're working with, but please don't go it alone. I've seen many instances where people have purchased for sale by owner homes. And of course, if you're somebody without a real estate license and you're selling your home, you're entitled to do that, but you might not know of all of your obligations. You might not know that you have to tell a potential buyer of all of the defects of the home, right? And so then sometimes that doesn't happen. And for sale by owners oftentimes are for sale by owners because they feel like their home is worth more than what somebody has told them the market is willing to bear. And unfortunately for some buyers, especially if they're coming from other areas and they're cash buyers and they come to Florida and it's a little bit of a shock at how inexpensive you can get some real estate, they don't question whether or not they're paying the market value. All they know is, a home that would have been $400,000 back home is only $230,000 here, and they think that they've got it made. But one of the worst conversations I ever had was with a couple who purchased a home through a for sale by owner in cash. And just a short time later, Mrs. Seller was diagnosed with cancer, and it was not looking good for her. And they wanted to go back to Michigan where their adult children were, where their support system was. And I sat down at their kitchen table and said, well, the market value of the home is this. And I gave them all the information, the data, the whole 9 yards. And they said, we only bought this house, 9 months ago and for $30,000 more than you're telling me it's worth. And, that gave me pause. And I said, well, did you use an agent? Like, what was it? No, we bought it for sale by owner. So I said, well, let me go back 9 months ago and see what the value of the home was, which we usually don't see that drastic changes in the market. But I thought, well, I at least have to do this homework and give them some reassurance. And I did a market analysis for that time. And basically they overpaid. They overpaid for the home because they didn't have representation. They could more than afford the house. That wasn't a problem, but they overpaid. And now that they had to sell it to go back to where they, back home to Michigan, now they're looking at a $30,000 loss, not to mention realtor fees and things like that. So now you're looking at, maybe $45,000 that's gone. And now you have to go back to a state where they came from. Homes were much more expensive. And so they were in this really difficult situation. I think a lot of folks don't realize that when you're going to work with a for sale by owner, you absolutely 100% can be represented by a real estate agent. We know how to work with for sale by owners. We know how to write contracts. We know how to do a market analysis. Anytime you're writing an offer on a home, whether you're doing a for sale by owner home or a home that's listed in the MLS, your agent should be completing a market analysis on that home to ensure that you're putting an offer in at market value. It shocks me. I hear people, agents all the time, talk about the appraiser this and the appraiser that. And I say, well, if you're doing a solid market analysis, there shouldn't be a problem with the appraiser. Like, appraisal day should not be flustering you. You should know exactly what that house is worth within this range. And there shouldn't be like these big pauses and hesitation when the appraiser comes. But the point here is don't get yourself into a bad situation. Hire an agent, let that agent negotiate with the for sale by owner on your behalf. And there's more than one way for a real estate agent to do that and get paid, even if it is a for sale by owner. So if you have any other questions, if you find a home that's for sale by owner, you're not quite sure what to do or how to proceed, please give us a call or reach out to your preferred agent so that you're not going to get yourself into a bad situation. I hope you all have a wonderful day.